There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this.
So last week, Wednesday, I got to go see an early screening of the new R-rated comedy Joyride. But I was so busy last week that I never got a chance to talk about it. But now we are. But before we get to that, I got to show you some mini posters I got, which just realized is not a big deal since I got like actual posters from movie studios. But I got one for a movie I haven't even seen yet. It's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I don't know if you could really tell. And then not only did I get one, not only did I get two, not only did I get, let's say, over 50, I got a whole thing of mini posters. For what movie? What the fuck am I supposed to do with all of these? Anybody want a signed Trev Talks Ruby Gilman poster? I'll just write on there, fucking sucks. Oh, and then right here, I'll cross out the N and then like, I don't know, put like Teenage Crackhead. Be a more interesting movie than this was. And by this I mean Ruby Gilman, not Joyride. Joyride comes to us from director Adele Lim and producer Seth Rogen, and it's about 4 Chinese American friends who travel through China in search of one of their birth mothers. And just to get this out of the way, raunchy R-rated comedies are back. Between movies like this, No Hard Feelings, and upcoming ones like Strays, I'm glad to see these kind of comedies having a comeback. And right next to The Blackening, not only is it one of the funniest movies I've seen in theaters in a while, but it is one of my favorite movies of the year so far. So a little bit of context. I grew up watching a lot of comedies like this. Particularly ones like the Seth Rogen comedies, American Pie, Road Trip, the Kevin Smith View Askew movies, a bunch of others, etc, etc. But recently it seems like those types of comedies have kind of disappeared for a while, especially good ones, and are finally having kind of a resurgence. Now look, I know these types of comedies aren't everybody's cup of tea, and there have definitely been a number of bad ones in the past few years. But I love stupid shit like that when it's done right, and Joyride does just that. And it did make me feel a little nostalgia for the raunchy R-rated comedies I grew up on. This movie has all that you'd expect. Constant swearing, sex jokes, drinking, crazy one-night stands, rude gestures, drug use, including one scene where a character has to shove drugs up her ass.
It's not a puppet, it's my asshole!
And yes, there is definitely a lot of that here, but between all of that, it does have a lot of heart and there is some likability to it. There will be a lot of moments where you're dying laughing, but the movie is really good at doing some quieter moments, and those scenes don't disrupt the feel of the rest of the film. The 4 actresses do work very well with each other, and they actually do feel like a real group of friends, and they are constantly funny throughout. With my favorite of the 4 being Deadeye, played by Sabrina Wu. It is also great to see Stephanie Wu getting a lot more work after Everything Everywhere All at Once. And thank God that the characters are enjoyable and the writing and humor is good, because the story is very by the numbers and really isn't anything you haven't seen before. You got 2 people who have been best friends since they were kids. One of them is successful while the other one is living in the successful one's shed. They go on a trip together, they run into a friend of one of theirs who the other becomes a little bit jealous of. There's the weird one, they all get themselves into a bunch of crazy scenarios, including getting their luggage stolen. And there's a 3rd act breakup where the 2 best friends have a falling out because one didn't tell the other about something important that they were doing. There also can be a joke or two that goes on for a little too long. There's this one joke involving a character maybe having a vagina tattoo, and it was funny at first, but then they stretch it out for a little too long to where it gets a little old. But then that joke does come back later into the movie, and it is funny again. So, in a way, it's kind of like the vomit scene from Team America, where it's funny at first, still funny, it's getting a little old, but then it's funny again. But all in all, I had a great time with this movie. If you missed it this past weekend, definitely give it a shot. You'll have a good time. Now, if these types of comedies aren't really your thing, this one ain't really gonna win you over, so I guess in that scenario, you can skip it. But everyone else needs to go see this, because I kinda wanna see these comedies have their comeback. Well, good ones at least. I'm gonna give Joyride an A-. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell, and I'll be back with more reviews very soon. See you then.